Okay, so this is homework week 4, putting it all together. So within this batch of homework, essentially what we're doing is going back through those previous 3 weeks and kind of doing a hodgepodge of all of those different types of things together in one problem. So problem number 1, there's not a whole heck of a lot to it. Recognize Jim Jones is starting a commune consisting of 918 people on a plot of land that is 3,099 acres. And so we're asked to compute the people per acre. So people per acre, people goes upstairs, acres go downstairs. So you're handed some number of people and some number of acres. So a quick division of 918 by 3,099 would be your response for this one. For this response, you want acres per person, so you'll take the number of acres and divide it by the number of people, and that will get you through this first problem. So this first one is more so a warm-up than anything, and I thought it was a fun question myself. If you don't know about Jim Jones, go ahead and Google it. All right, so here is a problem where we're putting a lot of the pieces together. So we're given some information. The density of alcohol, 1,000 milliliters is 1 liter, 1 milliliter is 1 cubic centimeter, and 1 cubic centimeter is this many inches. And so we have a 1.75 liter bottle contains a liquid which is approximately 90% alcohol by volume. 1 second. What are the odds? Grant speaking. Yeah, what's up? So the final exam is 15% of the overall grade, so it's worth as much as any other test. And so whatever grade my math lab is computing, more likely it's wrong. But I can't suppress that feature. And so they'll want to look at the grade that's posted in Brightspace. Cool. Thank you, Belinda. Bye-bye. All right. Sorry about that. So a 1.75 liter bottle contains a liquid which is 90% alcohol by volume. So essentially what we want to do here is we're going to extract the alcohol only and then form that alcohol into a cube. Is that what we're going to do? Yes, so we're going to extract the alcohol from that bottle, form it into a cube, determine the side length of that cube and the weight or the mass of that cube. So let's go ahead and dive on in. So if the alcohol was extracted from the liquid, then the alcohol would have a volume of blank liters. So for part 1, recognize we have a volume of 1.75 liters. So that would be the volume of the bottle. And then we're told 90% is alcohol by volume. And so 90% of that volume is going to be the volume of the alcohol. So volume of the alcohol is going to be 90% of that 1.75 liters. So we can take 0.9 and multiply it by 1.75. That gives us 1.575 liters. So if the alcohol was extracted from the liquid, then the alcohol would have a volume of 1.575. Round to 3 decimal places. Okay, so we're all good there. Again, the whole idea here is we're going to extract the alcohol from this bottle, which is 90% of the volume, and then we're going to take this volume and form it into a cube and determine the side length and the mass of that cube. So the previous solution converted into milliliter gives a volume of blank milliliters. And so we have part 2, 1.575 liters. We want to convert that number of liters into some number of milliliters. The relationship we're given between milliliters and liters is found up here. So for every 1,000 milliliters, we have 1 liter. So I want to undo this liter, so I need to introduce the liter downstairs. And for every 1 of those liters, I have 1,000 milliliters. Liter downstairs undoes the liter upstairs, so I would multiply by 1,000, which is going to move this decimal place 1, 2, 3 spots. So 1575.7. Wait, hold on. I feel like I do have an extra 7 in there. So the volume of the alcohol is 1.575 liters. I don't know where this extra 7 came in. So 1575 milliliters. So again, to recap what just happened, I took the volume of the bottle. I know it's 90% alcohol by volume, so I found 90% of that volume. So this 1.575 liters is the volume of the alcohol. And now I'm converting that volume of alcohol, the 1.575 liters, into some number of milliliters by utilizing this unit converter or unit multiplier. The previous solution converted into cubic inches gives a volume of blank cubic inches. So part 3, I'm going to take my 1575 milliliters. I'm going to convert it into some number of cubic inches. And so I want to undo the milliliters, so I need a milliliter downstairs, so that unit undoes that unit. And what I do want out is cubic inches. And I know for every 1, so 1 milliliter is 1 cubic centimeter. And so that's to say a milliliter is equivalent to a cubic centimeter, and then I'm using the fact that 1 cubic centimeter is 0.06 cubic inches. So 0.06 cubic inches is 1 milliliter. So doing this multiplication will give me the number of cubic inches. So I get 1575 multiplied by 0.06, 94.5. So the volume in milliliters converted into cubic inches is 94.5. So 94.5 cubic inches. Okay. If the volume of alcohol in a 1.75 liter bottle was formed into a cube, it would have a side length of blank inches. Round your solution to the nearest tenth. So if we took the alcohol out of this bottle, we know it would be 94.5 cubic inches in volume. And so remember that the volume of a cube is equal to the side length cubed. And so the volume of my cube, that is the volume of alcohol, will be this 94.5 cubic inches. So I have 94.5 cubic inches is equal to my side length cubed. So to get S alone and by itself, I need to take each side of my equation and raise it to the 1/3 power. So raising to the 1/3 power on the right hand side, S to the third, then raise to the 1/3. Remember to multiply these two exponents to get S to the first, or more clearly, just S. And then the left hand side, I have to compute 94.5 raised to the 1/3. Recognizing the same fashion where this 1/3 undid this exponent of 3 We're at the same idea here. This 1/3 is going to do this exponent of 3 that's on the inches, leaving behind just inches. Right, taking the cubed root of cubic inches gives me back an inch, which is good because I'm looking for a side length, which is a length measurement, which should be inches in this case. So let's go to our Desmos and compute 94.5 raised to the 1/3. Raised to the 1 divided by 3. 4.5548. In change. All right, let's go back to the homework and round accordingly. Round to the nearest tenth. To the nearest tenth. 5 is occupying my 10th position. I have a 5 to the right, so it will round up to 4.6. The volume of alcohol in a 1.75 liter bottle has a mass of... So the volume of alcohol in this 1.75 liter bottle has a mass of blank. So we need to use this density given up here. So the density of alcohol is 0.79 grams per milliliter. Grams per 1 milliliter. That's going to be my density. Ooh, move this up. So this is my density. I need to multiply it by a volume. That volume needs to be in terms of milliliters. And the volume of alcohol in milliliters is this 1575 milliliters. Milliliter downstairs undoes this milliliter upstairs, leaving behind the units of grams, which is what I want. I'm looking for a mass measured in grams. So the result will be this 0.79 times 1575. And I get 1244.25. That would be in grams. So for this last one, I took the volume of the alcohol represented in terms of milliliters, and that was because this density that I'm given is in terms of milliliters. I have this many grams for every milliliter, so if I multiply by the number of milliliters, I have the total number of grams. We were to round to the nearest integer, so rounding this to the nearest integer would be this whole number. It's occupied by the 4. Looking just to the right, I see a 2. It's not big enough to round up, so 1,244. Check answer. And I mean, really, I'll go back and I'll make this more clear. It should say so it really should be referenced that the alcohol is 90% of the volume, but these videos should help clarify any confounding things I missed. Alright, so that gets us through problem number 2. I'll go ahead and I'll end the video here, and I'll pick up at this population density problem. Thank you for your attention.